In this video, I'd like to share with you my initial thoughts on the Zoupw 450 watt portable solar panel. The first thing that caught my attention as soon as I took it out of the bag is this carry case. This is not one of those thin, cheap nylon bags that you expect to have tear and fray within the first 4 or 5 times you use it. This is a well-constructed bag, and it deserves more credit than it gets, actually. Everything from the zipper, this is a quality zipper. It feels nice and firm. There's a carry case up front here that you can put items in like your cables. Even if you look at the stitching on this bag, very well done. I love the fact that the handles stick out through the top of this bag, so when you carry it, you're not putting all the weight on the bag itself. Yet it does have straps if you do want to carry it by straps. And they even thought it out. There's a handle down below. If you have to pick this up and hold it out flat maybe, that handle will help you out a lot. It really is a well-constructed bag. And it's all padded. All the way around this bag is padded to protect the panels. Then the next thing that caught my attention once I opened up the bag are the protective corners on the frame. These caught my eye right off the get-go. I love the fact that they have these protective corners on here to protect the aluminum frame. Then as you open it up and take out the panel and start looking at it, the framework on here is very well done. Nice attention to detail. The handles feel good, the rubber coated. It's just a quality piece. Let's go ahead and get this out of the bag here. Let's just toss this bag off to the side for a second. Now on the frame, then you're going to find these 2 leather straps. They just pop off like so. They help hold the panel together while you're loading it and unloading it from the bag and transporting. And then from there, as you start to open this panel up, you notice the hinges. The hinges are just quality hinges. If you take a look at the hinges from the front, you can tell they're very well spaced. They're evenly spaced. Again, just attention to detail. Let's take a look at the back side. Here you go. Here are the hinges from the back side. There's nothing cheap about these hinges at all. And while we're back, let's take a look at this wiring. They give you plenty of wire, so if something ever does happen to it, you can still cut this and repair it if you need to. But I love that. The center set of wires do run through the frame, but if you notice, they slide through the frame. So nothing really binds up there. Same thing over here. Plenty of slack. So when it's all spread out during use, there's nothing that's constantly under tension, which is going to help it last a lot longer. Then while we're back here as well, we may as well talk about these legs. Now I understand that on the first generation of legs on this panel, they had some trouble with them breaking, I guess. But let me tell you what, I'm kind of a klutzy guy, and more than once I've had this set out. I didn't pay attention to the legs. I kicked them, did whatever else, and they held in place. Never had any issue with them at all. And you know what? I'm a real life kind of guy. If I'm going to move this thing 4 or 5 feet to the left or right, I may not fold it up and move it. I may drag it. And I've dragged this through gravel and grass, and take a look at them. The legs are still in great shape. And I will admit, I kind of bent one right here dragging it. Actually, I think I did that kicking it. But look, it's still in good shape, and it didn't break. All right, let me just finish extending this back out. Just extend the legs out, extend the leg out, extend the leg out. Once again, extend the leg out. And then you just lay the unit back, like so. There you go. Now we're in the shade right now. We're going to move it out in the sun to do testing. It's going to be 90 today. I wanted to be in the shade for this section of the video. And there you go. Now the legs are adjustable. They don't have set places. But all you have to do is pick up the panel, move the leg down a little bit, and it stands the panels up at a steeper angle. Easy to work with. No rocket science there, just good basic legs. All right, let me give you an example of these legs being used from this side. Just move the legs in like so, move it up like so, and you can tell that that's all that's involved in changing the angle of these panels. And that's about as steep as you're going to get it. And you want to lay it back down for a different angle. Once again, as simple as just extending the legs back and laying it down. There you go. Simple as that. Now, like I mentioned, I like to do my videos kind of like real life stuff. So for example, if I wanted to move this panel down a few feet right here, I wouldn't fold this thing up. I'm just going to grab it. I'm going to slide it down here and set it back in place. And look, the legs didn't move a bit basically. Right now, granted, this is on concrete, but check it out. I'm not being a baby with these things. They're pretty solid, so I really think they did a good job of listening to the customers and fixing whatever issue they had with those legs. So as you can tell, my first impressions of this are pretty positive. So here's what I want to do over the next few days. I want to hook this up to our Anker F3800. I'm going to move this around the yard a few places. I'm going to see what kind of input we can get from this to our Anker Solix. I'm going to share some of that with you, and then we're going to come back and we'll discuss it some more. And then after I get done doing this video, I'm going to use this for a few more weeks. I'm going to hook it up to our casita, and we're really going to put it through the steps. I'll come back and do a full-blown review again. But right now, let's just take a look and see how it does over the next few days. Now, this would be a good time to mention that Zoupw did send me this panel for review so I could share information with you. Nothing was indicated of what I had to say or couldn't say about this panel. Those of you that know me and follow our channel know I just say it the way it is. So what you hear from me is going to be my true feelings. Let's do a little test here. So as you can tell by my shadow, we did not have the panels lined up 100% with the sun. And what I did this morning is I just went ahead and brought our Anker F3800 and set it outside just so it's easy to run over there and look at the readout instead of running inside the casita. But let's take a look. So here we are. I just took it outside. It's just set here on the patio. Let's go over and see what we're putting out so far. And there you go. See that? 290 watts. Now it is 8:40 in the morning. Not the prime time for solar. All right, so now we're at 10 o'clock. Let's go ahead and do another test on this and see where we're at. Once again, you can see by my shadow and the panel that we are not completely lined up with the sun, but we are out of the shadows of any trees right now. So let's go over to the F3800 and get an idea of what it's putting out now. All right, let's take a look here. 383 watts. Not bad. And again, it's only just a few minutes after 10 o'clock, so it's not prime time for solar. That's pretty impressive. All right, so now it's just a few minutes after 11 o'clock. We're getting a little bit better lined up with the sun where we're sitting right now. Let's go take a look and see what it says we're putting out. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Can you see it? Is that any brighter? Can you see that in there? 402 watts. That's pretty darn good. Okay, so we've moved the panel to the backyard. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. We're going to get some pretty good sunshine here for the next few hours. Now keep in mind that we are running this through a 20-foot extension cable. Now this is a 10-gauge wire, so it shouldn't make any effect on it at all. Let's take a look at the Anker Solix and see what it's saying to us now. Let's see. Here we go. 390 watts. Can you see it? 390 watts right now. We'll come back and check it pretty soon. All right, well, let's sum up my first impressions of the Zoupw 450 watt solar panels. My first impressions that have lasted now over the last 7 days. Let's just start with the bag. So I have put these panels away every single night, put them in the bag every single morning, gotten them out, deployed the panels, and the bag has been fantastic. Every time I put it in the bag, take it back out, I have to smile because I'm really happy with the quality of that bag. Now the same thing holds true of the quality of these panels. Every time I get them out of the bag and deploy them, there's never any binding of the hinges, there's never any squeaking, there's never any slop, just a nice smooth operation. Same thing is held true with the second generation legs. Like I mentioned before, I don't know what kind of problem they had before, but they have fixed it. The gravel you see up front here, more than once, more than 4 or 5 times, I've drugged these panels through that gravel. I've drug them through grass. I've drug them through some 3/4 minus back here. And the legs have held up very well. Now, I have not purposely abused these panels, but I haven't babied them either. And the same thing for the bumpers on the corners. Because I've drugged these through gravel a few times, I look at the bottom of the panels, and the finish has held up real well. So I'm really happy with that too. At the beginning of the video, I think I made mention that when I do videos on product, I do videos the way that I use the product. So when I set these out in the morning, I get a good direction of the sun. I might figure, hey, the sun's over here. I'm going to get decent coverage. It's going to pass over. I'm going to get perfect coverage. It's going to pass on by, and I'm going to get poor coverage. And then I may move the panels. That's just the way I operate. When I did these testing on these to get the wattage, I did not go out. I did not have any calibration on just what would be perfect for the sun. I set it out the way I'm going to use it. So it probably wasn't really fair to these panels to try and give you the peak performance, but that's just the way I do it. Now, as far as the testing the wattage on these panels, unfortunately, all the days I did my testing, the temperatures ranged between 104 and 107 degrees. And we all know that panels lose some efficiency in that kind of temperatures. But that's just the luck of the draw. That's what we had handed to us, and that's what we used. But as you saw, I call it the plop and go. I plop the panels out and I go. And we easily range between 380, 390. We saw a few times it hit 400 watts. And I'm just going to guess we probably lost roughly 10% of the efficiency of these panels because of the heat. So I bet you when it gets back down in the 70s and 80s, which is typically where they test these panels at anyway, when it gets down those temperatures, I'm pretty certain that we will see over 400 watts on my plop and go system. Now overall at this point, I'm very happy with the quality of these panels and the performance of these panels. And I'm really looking forward to some more testing in cooler temperatures, some cloudy conditions, and things like that to really get a true test of how they're working. And within the next few days, I'm going to start running these cables through the exterior wall instead of running through a window like we have it now. I'm probably going to add another extension cable. Right now we're running through the 10-foot cable that comes with it and a 20-foot extension most of the time. I'm probably going to add another 30-foot so I can just run it through the wall and put this panel wherever I need to keep it in the sunshine all the time. And that's the way we believe it's set up most of the time to help power our Anker F3800. And after we do some more testing for the next 2, 3, 4 months or whatever, I'll come back and do another video and I'll share that with you. Now, just in case you've been doing some research in the past and this video will help push you over the top to where you want to make a purchase, I'm going to put 2 links below in the description. One is going to take you to Amazon. If you make a purchase using that link through Amazon, you will not pay a penny more, but we do get a small kickback from Amazon. The second link would take you directly to Zoupw to where you can make a purchase on these panels. Now, if you enjoyed this video at all, found anything useful in this video at all, consider hitting that thumbs up button and leave a comment down below and consider subscribing. You may want to make sure you hit that notification bell so when I do that follow-up video on this, you don't miss out. And as always, have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Oh, help me up. Help me up. Oh, help me up.